Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Sherry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. And I want to jump right into this. I did an introductory video with this as the same thumbnail. I'll probably change it, but whatever. Be that as it may. But I digress, as Richie from Boston would say. Listen to some of his stuff, his latest stuff. Internet, YouTube is getting more and more selective, shall we say. The internet as a whole is in jeopardy. Our freedom of, information and everything else. So I just like Richie's good watchman on the walls. Like, share, and subscribe, or don't. This is Richie from Boston. I'm out. So all right, but I digress. So this video is a video response to Sister Lisa's video with this thumbnail, the mystery map ? And her channel is, I'll try to get links in here for you, the OzArks : Journey to Self-Sufficiency. Okay, she has some really good ideas, has made some really good observations since the short time she's been here. Observations that everybody's going to make sooner or later if they survive and if they make it. And one is, you can't do this alone. It has to be a community effort. You can't just buzz out into the wilderness and set up camp and survive. You pretty much have to have some basic things. You got to have shelter, decent shelter. One guy came out with his daughter from Wyoming with a good tent, an outfitter tent, made for elk hunting at 12,000 feet. Well, it leaked like a sieve. He said it was a nice summer-long camping trip. They went back home. So other people have tried and, canned it. I mentioned the other video, Chris and Joe and Chris, OzArk off-grid family. They bagged it. They put a lot into their property, and of course the company's going to sell it. I talked to one couple who bought 5 acres, still owe like $15,000 on it. And the guy flat out told them before they bought it, he said, yeah, this is the 20th time I've sold this. So buyer beware, caveat emptor. Gambling is not the way to build your future, and going out into the wilderness and living off grid is gambling. You have to have water, you have to have shelter, you have to have water, you have to have food. You need some form of income, some way to make it. So, and am I depressed? Yeah. I'm not seeing a lot of these situations being holdable, tenable, even though I'm helping out for nothing. And part of that's because of the survival IQ of some of the people. I was not going to mention any names, but when someone comes in and helps them for nothing, and they tell them to go away, that doesn't speak very highly for that person. But anyway, nothing is written in stone. The future is not set. The future is what we make it. Well, if it's going to be made any differently, much differently, some of y'all out there that are listening and not doing anything need to get involved. Now, a lot of you are praying for me. Thank you so much. I really treasure those prayers, really more than probably the income even that people have helped me out with off and on. And I know I'm not speaking that loud. I hope this gets across. I tried a headset. It didn't work. So scratch that. All right. So the mystery map. Supposedly nobody knows where this came from, and if you want to have all the things read to you, the Temple or Landel of Goshen, which is the big triangular area, this appears to be the area, I'm reading from memory basically, the area least hit by Yah's judgment, and the initial gathering region, as people will be led or driven here. So that's mid-Texas to the East Coast, South Carolina, maybe Georgia, up into the Great Lakes region. All right, so I'm going to move on. So because I want to get into this, it's going to take some time. So I'm going to back out here real quick and come back with another map. That may not be in the right one. All right. So you can see by the heading here, Green Islander Survival Map, JPEG. This is from the Arkhaven site. I'll tell you how to go there, but I'm going to, just for those of you, because some people have been asking me about this. Here it is. It's a digital. Take a screenshot of it. You can read it. Best I can do for now. If that'll help you, go for it. There's people who have moved here because of this map. I've gone to meetings and people say, "Oh, I saw." They hear my name. Oh, I saw your map online. Well, it used to be on Arkhaven site. I'm going to give you links in the description below for that site of a screen. Oh, let's see, the capture shots of it from like 2016-ish when it was still up, as it was back then. Okay, so it's called the Wayback Machine. Archive.org. Alright, so this is what it looks like. You can see web.archive.org, web.archive.org. And I don't know how to navigate it that well, but that's what it looked like. Ozark Mountains, a divinely protected area, a safe area for Christians. Now this is just maps, 2 maps that were done by some prophets that met in Kansas City. Go to this website, read the story. Portions of Maine, Vermont, Quebec, portions of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, portions of Missouri and Arkansas. Of course, those are mountainous regions. Black Hills is one, a couple in the west. There's a map showing those 3 regions. These are just, don't really mean anything other than some people said they took a map. I can draw a map, and I can get a map and draw a circle around stuff. And that's what they did here. You'll see that the left one there with Missouri, Arkansas has Springfield, and over towards St. Louis, down into Arkansas. It's rough, whatever. That doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not even going to go into how this all came about. I gave a summary in different videos. From the time I first made dots on a map on a continental United States map, Road Atlas, Rand McNally, back in 1998, 99. It formed a circle. I drew a circle around it, and that's where you see not those black dots are the same ones. Those are just ones on a city or a county line or something, but it looked somewhat like that. It was that exact same inner black circle. I had a bunch of dots on a map. It was a circle, so I drew a circle around it. 911, my son and I were up in Estes Park, Colorado for a fiber optics training course. We would have been making, according to the projections, these guys knew what they were doing. They paid they paid cash. We would be making $30,000 to $40,000 per month, each of us. That's what they knew we would be making. So here's the deal: is that the bottom dropped out of that market. We never saw a nickel from that whole thing. But while I was there, the guy whose place we stayed at, 82 years old, I said, "Hey, Craig, you ought to pull the plug and sell your 160 acres in Phoenix and your 40 acres up here in the mountains in Colorado and move out to where we are, move out east in the Midwest." And he said, "That's funny, a lot of my friends are moving out there." And he pulled out a map, same circle. He had a circle around the same area that I did. Different friends, but people who had been divinely, providentially moved there. Okay, so enough of that. There's another one. The radius from the center to the black dots is 100 miles, and to the red targeting circle is 120 miles. Oddly enough, just about the almost circular region on. Oh no, battery low. I'm probably not going to be able to get this done. Anyway, the River Basins. So this map was put together by Jerry Diamond, who lives in Missouri. Yeah. Independently of each other, Jerry and I feel that the Holy Spirit told us years ago that this general area is a green island of survival. Okay, so this is just a map showing the general outline of the plateau. I'm going to go over some of this quickly because of the battery situation here. This is a map of the aquifers. Now notice that it is, look at that map, look at that map, that's the aquifers, and look at that map, that's the topological, okay, outline. Same area. In other words, anywhere you are on the OzArk Plateau, plateaus plural, you can drill a well and get water and have secure water for your home. All right, 1,166 people per square mile. You go to this is on that website, archaven.org. Just go ahead and read this. This is on the plain view version. These are my words, and they're still on this website. Very interesting. Quote unquote, the green island of survival may possibly, at least for a time, once again be a literal island. It's in that color because when Obama was reelected, I went from using blue to the closest thing I could find to dried blood, because I saw that death was coming, judgment was coming. So, note, back when I was first being shown from many sources that this circular area actually spherical. It includes negative electrical protection via grounding deep into aquifers, springs, wind patterns, electrical, etheric, Tesla energy. Area of about 100 miles radius around Springfield would be the safest place to live. That was all I knew. It was before I had the foggiest clue of anything at all about the OzArks, plateaus, springs, aquifers, lakes, rivers, terrain, people, etc. And yet article after article, source after source delineates the exact same size and shape of this area. Although this is referred to as the OzArk Mountains, the region is actually a highly and deeply dissected plateau. It is one plateau. Geologically, the area is a broad dome around the St. Francis Mountains. It is a single mountain. Okay. OzArk Highlands, covering nearly 47 square thousand miles, is by far the most extensive mountainous region between the Appalachians and the Rockies. Together, OzArks and the Ouachita Mountains form an area known as the U.S. Interior Highlands. Okay, now geological assessment of American survival. This is where I wanted to get to. That map that we're talking about, the mystery map, is in this article. This was an 18-page thing. You can go to Ken Updegrove's website, archaven.org, or this web. I don't know if it's still. It may be on the web archive, Wayback Machine. I'm not sure. The link for this, he has a link on it. You probably search through his website, and he has it, I'm pretty sure, the whole 18-page thing. So, Mid-America Survival Area: Scottsbluff, Nebraska; Lubbock, Texas; Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania; Atlanta, Georgia. Now, I bring this up because in 1993, I talked to a man on the phone. I was given his number, I don't know by who. Talked to him on the phone. He mentioned the Christian Patriot Defense Association, CPDA, I think it's called. And he said, we got to get into the bread box of America, bread basket of America, because you got to be able to grow food. If you're going to survive for any protracted length of time, you have to be able to grow food. You can't do it anywhere else in the United States for any large population of people. Period. And it says author unknown. Yeah, well, now this one they did know. This map was made by a Christian survival group in Illinois. They mentioned George Washington's vision as a reason for the wedge shape. That's who I'm going to be going into. Okay, the person that made this map, and I believe that map, because I talked to him on the phone back in 1993. Don't know if he's still alive. Here's another wedge-shaped area of survival. This configuration matches better with other drawings and geographical consideration. In some ways it does, in some ways it doesn't. To me, this one says there will be a port on the East Coast, and people will be coming out this way in ever-increasing droves. That's what that says to me. Wind patterns, America's breadbasket, burnt toast. New York dead zone, starvation, plague, radiation, mass chaos, troop movement, New United Mexico, troop movement, California, Silicon Valley, dead zone. I mean, so prophetic on this stuff. All right, so until I get the links up, this has them here. If you look up my maps of the OzArk Plateau, how to get to Goshen, it is a series on that by that title, and it's the link for it there. Just look it up, you can find it. Like I said, I have this ready to go to copy and paste and put into the description. But webarchive.org, archiving Ozark Mountains, safe refuge. And then I also have a link to my book, How to Get Out of Babylon, free ebook. So, all right, so the mystery map, the title of her thing, video was A Pole Shift in the New Madrid Quake. And I've gone into that already. I'm not going to go into it anymore. And I got to cut this one off because I am going to 5%. So this is going to shut me down. All right. So I'll continue this on part 2. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. And if you're listening to this, you are the remnant. But there is a temple or land of Goshen. That's what we're looking for. Shut it off. Come on.